Recording in progress. Oh, are we doing all from the beginning?
In the Pop Culture Cupid podcast, we talk about how pop culture influences our expectations in relationships. I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
Healthy communication. I'm Michelle. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self-relationship. We bring some juicy stories from our own love lives and dating, and it gets pretty interesting. Be focused, we're going to be to the point, and no digressing.
Self-awareness. Follow, share, subscribe, enjoy.
And like and comment.
If it's shockingly bad, we just re-record another one.
Yeah. No, I think there's some good stuff that you can just nitpick. Recording in progress. Hello. It's been so long.
It's been so long. As you can tell, it's been a while.
Yeah,
I think this episode is coming out, like, we will probably be chronological order as of this episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, for people kind of trying to follow the chronological order.
Yeah, chronological.
They get it. My inflection is weird on that word. Anyway,
chronological order. Yeah.
Because we've just done recording the Christmas episode, but then we've got other episodes that need to be aired before this one.
Yeah. I don't think it really matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
The order.
It doesn't matter because we're not that type of podcast. There are podcasts that kind of need to have an order, but like Diary of a CEO or things like that. Like, I'm sure that's not posted in chronological order.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's got his planning and then the guests and everything. He also probably kind of batch records. So anyway, today we want to talk about imposter syndrome.
Yay, so fun. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've been thinking about a lot recently because I've been feeling it a lot recently because there's been a lot of like changes in my life that are suddenly like, you know, oh my God, I'm like, when you really like day to day, when you're not thinking about it, it's like everything feels like very natural. But like when I stop and think about it, or in certain like moments, I'm like, oh my God, is this my life? Because like you go from jumping in, you know, especially in my relationship, like the whole first year and a half, well, more than that actually, year and 8-9 months of our relationship, we were living separately. And I was living alone for a very long time. I was single for 7 years. So, you know, while we were still living apart, a part of me still felt like I had, you know, that single life, that single lifestyle and this the mentality, because I'm still living alone. I see him mainly just on weekends. So during the week, I'm doing my own thing, I'm working and whatever. And, you know, to go from that to living together and seeing each other every day and just integrating our life that much more, suddenly you feel, oh my God, I'm in a fucking relationship. I'm like in this full on, pardon my French, I'm in this full on all-consuming partnership, and it's suddenly, wow, like everything feels so different suddenly. And I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but like if people have gone through it, then they'll understand it. It suddenly feels like your brain is taking time to adjust to this change. It's like it just, it's like getting the flu when the season changing, when you're in between like autumn and winter, and or summer and winter, whatever it is, but like you're just feeling like you're living someone else's life and everything feels a bit unreal, you know?
Yeah, I think that's probably it's probably due to the fact that you have been single for 7 years and and but had and did know what a relationship was.
Hmm.
Because I think it's different, like for different people, and we're not going to go through all of like the different types of people. But there are young people who have never been in a relationship, but because
Yeah.
there are so many things going on, then getting into a relationship is just kind of mixed up in the rest of it. And then people who kind of go relationship after relationship, or people who only have short-term relationships or things like that. And I think you, because you had that 7 year gap, but like in your mid 30s and just kind of like knowing what a relationship is, like, you kind of know what to expect.
Hmm.
It's not taking you by surprise, which is probably what's kind of stopping you from kind of taking it all in. Because I think that's the thing that you want, is you want to take it all in more than ask yourself, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have been, slowly adjusting to it and taking it in and getting used to, this huge leap. Because this is my first, I've been in relationships, but this is my first time actually living with a partner. And so, you have these moments throughout the day or throughout the week where you're suddenly like, you look, there's someone
Yeah.
who's there, and there's someone and your whole life looks differently. Even if you give each other space, and even if we don't spend every moment together, it still changes your whole routine. And, especially moving away from where I was living into this whole completely different lifestyle. Well, not completely different, but like you move into like, when you're the one doing the moving, then it's a bit it's different, like when, especially if like you live, well, over here, living far away is very relative, but like um when you're the one doing the moving and bringing all your life into your partner's space, it's I think a bit more complex because you're not used to
Yeah.
this lifestyle, you're not used to this space. And Zev and I had this conversation about it where it was because we live in a very remote village where it's, there's maybe a few buses a day that come out, but like I don't have a car. So I'm like basically, and I work from home, so it doesn't matter, but I'm basically stuck here the whole day. And so Zev was like putting it like, I basically put you in this golden cage and took the key with me for good and for bad.
Yeah.
And so it's like this very strange feeling for me as someone who's so used to my freedom and being able to go where I want, whenever I want, to suddenly have these limitations. It's very strange. And I'm not complaining because I love my golden cage, but I can't, it's the best golden cage I could have asked for. But it makes you feel like suddenly, whoa, my life has taken this whole huge spin, and suddenly I feel like I'm just, I don't know, maybe I like suddenly jumped into someone else's life. So,
Yeah, so maybe more, like not just imposter syndrome, but kind of also observing your life from the outside kind of thing.
hmm,
Is
yeah,
that like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I mean, and also it's a bigger adjustment for you than it is for him because you're going into his kind of space rather than finding a new space. And I think, are you thinking something like, I'm enjoying it, but I shouldn't be enjoying it type of thing?
No, it's not like that. I think I'm enjoying it and I'm just enjoying it. I feel like it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like this strange feeling of sometimes like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if like other people ever felt this in their relationship where suddenly they feel like, I don't know, we're going through this huge change in the relationship, and it's like in a good way. Yeah. It's like, wow, this is my life. This is amazing. This is such a great relationship. I'm like, oh my God, you know?
I think my 2 cents on this. I think it's just because you guys are taking things slow and like just taking your time and like each step, and like you're so like you're communicating really well and everything. I think that's then you have time to observe, and you have time to
Yeah.
kind of just realize what's, oh my God, where was I 7 years ago, and then 5 years ago, and then 3 years ago, and 2 years ago, and like, and you just haven't taken the time to observe. Because I was trying to think, like, have I ever felt that way? And I'm not gonna think back to other relationships, but with JT, things they did go kind of fast between him and me, and it's fine. But then I think I never really took the time to just kind of observe, which, not that I'm regretting it, but I'm slightly envious of that feeling of just like,
Mm.
and this is really fresh because yesterday I was talking to well, my therapist about it. See my therapist once a month to just kind of like check in. And yesterday that was the big topic of just like I tend to go fast, not just in my relationships, but like in every aspect of my life.
Hmm.
And so my objective is as soon as my son is born is just like 12 months of just no big changes,
Yeah.
because I want to take the time to observe, and I would like to feel what you're feeling, um, of just kind of like, oh, wow, of just observing. And I don't, I think I don't know what motherhood is gonna has installed for me, but I think that's why you're feeling it, of just like you, and I think that's really good. And as long as you're not questioning it too much, which I know you're not, but some of our listeners might be questioning it. I think you don't want to question these things. You just want to be in the moment, and just like you have the luxury of observing what's going on. I think just
Yeah.
take full advantage of it and don't question it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not a matter of like, because a lot of times you can look at it and you can say, oh my God, why am I feeling, I don't want to say a stranger in my relationship, but why am I feeling suddenly like I'm on the outside looking into my relationship? Why am I suddenly feeling
Yeah,
like I'm living someone else's life, or suddenly feeling like, there's this, whole new world opening up? It's instead of questioning it and looking at it as this huge, overwhelming gush of whatever it is, then you have to look at it as something like this amazing opportunity, which is actually pretty great. I actually haven't even thought of it that way. Like, I've been enjoying it, but like I haven't even been thinking about like how special it is that I get to experience this feeling and to have the time to really, like, on the one hand it feels like it all happened all at once, and it's like, whoa, suddenly we got back
yeah,
from Thailand, 2 weeks later I'm moving in. And but then again, we've been together for almost 2 years before I moved in, so it's like and we're taking it so slow, and just like, I think you get to experience more when you take things slow. And I think this is true for everything in life. And as
yeah,
well, like, when we were in Thailand and we were taking our trip, there's two type of people in trips. There's the people who have like this full schedule and want to get as much crammed in as they possibly can. And then there's the people like us who take things slow. I'd rather do less things in a day and enjoy more of each place we go to. And when you do that, I feel like you're not thinking about all the things that you could have crammed into the
yeah,
day. You're just enjoying what is. And when you're doing too much, then you don't get to stop and think and enjoy where you are, look around you. Like the same thing in my relationship. I'm thinking about and comparing it now to, being in Thailand in this incredible place and just taking a moment, putting my phone aside, disconnecting, and oh, look where I am. And so the same thing goes to my relationship right now, where I'm suddenly going like, oh my God, now that I'm suddenly full, I'm like, I'm now full time in a relationship, where beforehand I was like, it felt like part time because we're living apart. But
yeah.
now I'm full time in a relationship. I'm in this, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like going, what? Oh my
I mean,
God.
it's, when we say, it's funny because we're so different. Like, it's funny how we're different in these ways, and we shouldn't, like, we should. You'll see where I'm going with this, because
Yeah.
I do yoga and have a spiritual practice, and you don't do so much. Yet you're the one that practices mindfulness on your day to day, whereas I'm not. I'm
Well, I
very
don't know
much
if
of
I do
the
it purposely, but yeah.